Hello, it's Isaac here, and I'm going to do an update on the whole situation with the property. So last video that came out, you seen Jaylena and I get all of the debris. We just finished getting the all the wood off of the metal frame on the carport slash shed thing that was going on there. And we have a lot of information to cover. A lot of things have happened that I didn't necessarily film that I'm going to get into why I didn't film and all that right now. So make sure you watch the whole video to kind of know exactly where everything is at the mountain up to this point today. So we left off with Jaylena and I getting all the wood off of the metal frame so that I could have a metal scrapper come get that metal, because I don't have the tools to do it. I don't have the tools. I don't have the I don't do a lot of metal. I basically would have needed help for that job. So Jaylena and I got all the debris into a pile, and I messaged the metal scrapper because I checked that box in my head that deal was done, and then the only thing left at that point in time was for me to get dumpsters and fill the debris up with all the construction debris. So let me tell you what happened. Story time. I sent the photos to the metal scrapper that I had because I pre-gamed. I sent him the photos earlier, the week I knew I was going to start the job. Said, hey, do you want this metal? Because he said he would take it a long time ago. Yeah, we confirmed with each other he was going to come get it as soon as I got it there. So as soon as I got it to the metal frame, I sent him photos of the metal frame and like where it was all at. Everything was cleared. He could get to it, and said, come get it. And he said, okay, he'll be there next week. No reply. And I told him it was ready to come get it, and there was no reply. Nothing, right? So he did not come through. Let me make it blatantly clear what happened. The metal guy did not show up at all. And there's a whole story on what happened from there, so buckle up. I still did not want to go buy tools and did not want to die taking that metal frame down. Just so you know, Jaylena and Ember are in Texas right now at the timing of the filming of this video. Jaylena wanted to help me as much as she could, but she's had plans to be in Texas to visit family during this time period. Her original plan was to drive her van across the country so she could experience that and then spend this time with her family. She stayed to help me with the demolition, and by doing that, she couldn't afford the time to drive. She ended up flying to Texas. So Jaylena's in Texas right now, visiting family. Ember's with her, and they flew in, and she did that so that she could help me, and I'm blessed and super grateful. So she flew out, I don't remember what day, and I'm tripping because now I'm by myself and all alone here, and that's a big job, that metal frame. So what I ended up doing was I took those photos, took that video, and I made an ad on Facebook Marketplace, and I said, free metal. If anybody wants this metal, come get it, but you have to remove it, and it's your job, right? I can't help you with it. So I honestly didn't expect anybody to actually come through. I got blown up with so many messages of people trying to come get the metal. And then one guy was like, I'll give you $50 just to hold it and I'll come get it. And the one thing that I was trying to make very clear was you have to be able to do the job. It's a big job, right? And this guy seemed like he had all the gear, seemed like he had it going on. But then I got another message from a guy who really wanted the metal, and he basically asked to call me. I called him, and he was really close. He was just down the road, and he was like, I could really use the help. I'm struggling, right? He basically like pleaded his case for the metal, if that makes sense. And I felt bad for the guy. And I was like, if this will help this guy out, I'm totally down to help this guy, right? I'm cool with that. Like, so the dude, I turned down the money, the 50 bucks. I was like, hey man, this guy seems like he really needs it, wants it. I'm gonna let this guy do it, right? So I'm not gonna tell you his name, and it doesn't turn out the way you think it turned out, probably. So, guy shows up. Really like the guy. As soon as he shows up, I can tell he is very underprepared. This man has an angle grinder, and he's trying to take this whole structure down with it. I have an angle grinder. But, you know, I let him do his thing. He assured me he was going to have it down in a day. He just didn't have the tools. The other thing that happened is he lied to me about having help, because it's dangerous, right? I don't want anybody to get hurt over there. And he's over here by himself telling me he has help coming first day. It was supposed to be down in one day. Anyways, benefit of the doubt, he comes back the second day. Shows up, doesn't have help. He's by himself. And there's no way this man is pulling this down by himself. So now I'm starting to feel some kind of way, because this other guy seemed like he had all of the tools needed to get this job done. And I'm not filming random strangers on my channel, right? This is why there isn't footage for this. So I'm telling you the story of what happened, because I'm not gonna film random people. I don't know, it's just not how you do it, right? So anyways, by the end of the second day, I pretty much told him if he doesn't have help and get this thing done, I'm gonna have to pull him and get somebody who can get it done. Because I've got the county breathing down my neck. You know what I mean? For updates, like, this guy can't take 2 months to get this done. And he really needed help. I didn't want him getting hurt. So, when his back was up against the wall, I could tell, I think his thinking was he didn't want to get help because he didn't want to lose any money on the scrap, right? He wanted to try and keep the most. This is my opinion. This is not, you know what I'm saying? This is just my opinion on what happened. That's why he was trying to do it without help. But when he knew I was going to pull this job from him if he just didn't get it done, he made a phone call, and he had a buddy here in ASAP, who actually, there's a great story with the guy who came to help him, but he had a guy here, and then I finally seen some progress by end of day 2, right? I was like, okay, right? This is only supposed to be a 1-day job. They're on day 2, that's cool. Day 3 rolls around. I'm working on other stuff I'm doing around the property, and it's 2 o'clock, right? Because the thing is, you can't be angle grinding and all that stuff late into the night. It's 2 o'clock. The dude hasn't even showed up yet. Tons of work. Anyways, it just turned into too much of a hassle. I felt really bad. I really liked the guy. And I just messaged him, and I was like, hey man, I got to get somebody here that can get this job done. Like, no offense, but like, I got to move on with someone else. So I canceled him. And the original guy who wanted to give me 50 bucks for the metal shows up in a big old jacked up lifted Power Stroke truck with a trailer and a cutting torch. Very, very different scenario. You know what I'm saying? Day 4. And he was a really cool dude. He shows up. His buddies came and helped him. And he had the thing down in 1 day and removed from the property. No sweat. And he wasn't going to scrap it. He actually wanted the metal to kind of do some stuff around his property. But he had the tools and the means to get it done, and he did in like 1 day. And I'm so grateful for him. Just slayed it. And then, funny story is I actually became friends with the original guy who tried to come get the metal. He had a buddy who was local around here come help him. And during that period, I was just talking to him, and he said he could do all these different things and he could help me out. Anyways, we actually ended up becoming pretty good friends. And he even helped the next metal guy, get the stuff out. He's a great dude. Metal's gone, and I still have all this trash on my property, the construction debris, right? But after the metal thing, I was like, maybe people actually want this lumber, right? I can't keep it. I can't have it on the property, right? And I'll get more into why in a minute, but it has to leave the property by law, legally, for me to be straight with the county. Anyways, so I did it again. I took the same photo, I took videos, and I put free lumber on Facebook. Phone blew up. So my idea was, I know how much dumpsters cost, right? And it's like, if I can get somebody just to, hey! If I can get somebody just to come get all this wood, hold on. If I can get somebody to come get all this wood, I don't gotta pay dumpster fees, right? And then when my phone started blowing up and I seen all these people wanting to come get this wood, I was like, sweet. Prayers answered, right? Not so much. 2 people showed up, dug through the stuff, didn't really take anything, and again, my time was just being wasted. And it's like, I'm trying to help people out, but I have to get it done, right? So I ended up calling my buddy who I met, who helped the original metal guy. I'm trying to say his name is Chad. He's cool. He lets me film him later. His name is Chad. Super rad dude, local dude, great. I called Chad. I'm like, hey man, because he needed some work too, and it could really help him out. And the thing is like, I'm gonna have to spend money either way. I either gotta buy a dumpster or I could hire someone to help me. I talked to Chad, he needed some work, and we negotiated a deal, and basically he said he would clear all the construction debris for me, including pulling the wood stoves out the back, everything. And instead of me just giving the money to the, whatever you call it, the transfer station or whatever, like I was able to spend that same money and actually help somebody out locally who needed the work, wanted the work, and I got to help someone out. So I felt way better about that, which is why you didn't see me filling dumpsters in this video. I ended up helping out a guy local, and I didn't have to do it. I didn't want to do it. I want to spend my time in the recording studio making music, which is on my other channel. And that's what I've been doing for the last few days. But I built a great friendship out of it, and now I got somebody local here who can help me out when I need a hand with some stuff. Yeah, so that's where the demolitions are at. We'll take you into the next phase of things. I hired a guy who came and took all the trash out, did dump runs, went and recycled stuff for me, and it's all done. All the debris is gone, right? So now, I don't remember how much I've shared about the county and what I have to deal with the county, but basically, as I was doing each one of these demolitions, I was supposed to send photos of the progress, right? And this is why you're gonna learn why I couldn't keep the debris, right? So when we started on the demolition of the addition to the back of the house, dropped all the construction, left it on the ground. I never moved it because I didn't want to move it twice. I wanted to get a dumpster and just fill it. Chad took care of that too. But during each one of these things, I had to submit photos to the county showing progress, that I was actually doing something instead of just saying I was. And then same thing up there. So we started there, got that done. We went up to the shed. We ended up demoing that and actually just making it fit under an unpermitted shed deal. Had to submit photos and ask if I could even do that, right? So we're square, and we keep moving. The last part of, and when I got the building off of the frame over here, I took photos, submitted it to the county, showing progress. So the last part of it was get the metal out and the debris gone, right? So got the metal down, out of here, all the debris was taken care of. Here's where it gets tricky. So I was thinking that just taking the photos and submitting them was enough, right? They would just close it out. No, I submitted the last photos, and the county has to send an inspector out to the property to make sure that I actually did what I did. The photos were not doctored and the debris is actually gone. So there's no hiding it here. There's no putting it there. There's none of that. They came, so, and again, I didn't film the inspector being here. And this is why I'm telling this story, because I can't film these people. So inspector showed up, I don't remember, yesterday or something, and had his little clipboard, walked around the property with me and went to each one of the structures or where there were the problems and made sure that the thing was actually gone and that the debris was actually gone. Insane, right? But anyways, he was a really great dude. And I was talking to him about the whole thing. He totally felt for me. And yeah, so I'm done with demolition. All of the structures that needed to be tore down are tore down, gone. I'm 100% legal. He signed a little paper. I got a little notice or a little like form saying it was all good. All the illegal structures are gone, right? Kind of. So the demolitions are done. I had to pay for a demolition permit. The demolitions are done. It's signed off. It's good to go. Where that leaves us is the shop. The open permit on the shop. That's the part that's left. So demolitions are done, and now I'm dealing with the open permit on the shop. I just want to make it like clear, right? Now, I'm trying to be careful of how much information I give, but I just want you guys to know where things are at. And I don't want to like make anybody look bad either. So I want to be careful, but I guess I'll just keep it real basic. The open permit on the shop has to be closed, right? That means it either needs to be demolished or I have to do what they call an as-built permit, right? So, an as-built permit. That means that an engineer has to come here and basically reverse engineer the structure. So an engineer has to come in here and be like, okay, he built the building X by X, the studs were X by X, and it meets the building codes, and basically he has to say that the building is good, right? And then I take that piece of paper and I turn it into the county, and then again, the county inspector, which the same guy that came out is one of the dudes that would come back out again, would come out and do a final inspection and make sure that everything's what it's supposed to be, and then he signs off on it and we're all good. Now, the problem is engineers are expensive. I was quoted, just so you know, I was quoted $5,000 to $20,000. I called a whole bunch of engineers and they said it could be $5,000 to $20,000 just to make that piece of paper for me to turn in. Whew. It's a big deal, right? 5 to 20 grand for a piece of paper. And then when you turn it into the county, there's no guarantee you can even keep it. It's a gamble, but I don't. Yeah. So, okay, where it gets better. Most engineers don't want to do as-built permits because they're a pain in the butt, right? It's not a normal thing where somebody hires somebody, says, hey, I want to build a shop, blah, blah, blah. It's like a whole different thing. So I could not even find an engineer in my county that would even touch it. I ended up finding a guy who was out of county. He's supposed to be here, so I have an appointment for him to be here next week. And, you know, I got a decent deal. I'm not going to tell you what I'm paying him. And I have to go through the process, which just sucks. You know, I got to pay this guy. I have to do it. There's no, I can't do it because I'm stuck in this property until this place is legal. And right now I have an open permit on the property. So I'm hoping, so I guess I'm asking for some prayers from you guys. It's like best case scenario, the engineer comes in here, draws it all up, says it's all fine. I turn in the piece of paper. The inspector shows up. He says, yep, it's good. He signs off on it and we're done. I don't got to do any more work. All I had to do was pay some money and it's all good and the property's legal and Jaylena and I could leave here if we want to. That's best case. Worst case, it could get really bad, right? We're all just going to hope for best case. So that's what we want to happen. And then we're done. We can move on with our lives. Jaylene and I can get back to doing things we want to do besides tearing down buildings. Whew. Yeah. So that's where things are at here. The demolition side is 100% done. And now we were fighting a physical battle, tearing down buildings. Now we're going to start fighting a legal battle, a paperwork battle to keep the shop, which is the studio. Yeah. And I'll keep everybody updated on what's going on, but like that's where things are here. So right now we're waiting on the engineer to come draw the building. I can't do anything after that. And I do not want to do anything. I don't want to spend any money like re-roofing anything or doing it until the place is legal, if that makes sense. So it's like I'm going to be kind of stuck in limbo until after the engineer comes here and I know what needs to happen. So keep us in your prayers that this goes smoothly, because I mean, it could get so bad. It's already been so bad. And we just want to move on. We just want to get on with our lives. It's summer. And Jaylene and I told ourselves when we got this place, it's like we didn't want to spend another summer just building buses. We wanted to like do stuff with our family, go to the river, go do things, right? I know this is a long-winded video, but I just wanted to give you guys an update on kind of where things are at, what's going on. Please, like, I've had to take an entire month off to deal with this stuff. You guys hitting the little thumbs up, writing the little comments. I know I've been really bad about comments lately. I've had a lot going on. It really does help the videos. It helps keep the bills paid while we deal with all this stuff. And we're very grateful for you guys on that side of the camera, just being here, showing your support, showing the love. Thank you. Ember and Jaylena are having a great time in Texas. Jaylena has been sending me videos of Ember like in a pool and just having a great time. So I'm so stoked for them and for them to have that experience. It's July 4th today. It's 4th of July and I'll be working. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for always being here. And if for some reason this happens to be your first time watching one of my videos, consider subscribing, because somehow we always get up to something. All right, peace out. This is Isaac signing out. Bye.